Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Vinyl Den, your channel for record collecting by record collectors. I'm Nick. Today, I'm checking out this new 40th anniversary pressing of Bruce Springsteen's classic album, Born in the USA. There's a bunch of links down below. You got links for the Vinyl Den Facebook group, for the merch page, for the Spotify and Apple Music playlist that I put together every week, and the Patreon page. So make sure you check all that out. Like always, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and make sure you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I release new episodes. So Born in the USA was released on June 4th, 1984. It was Bruce Springsteen's 7th studio album, and it's actually an album that was pretty important to me when I was growing up. I know I talked about it on the channel a few times over the last couple of years that one of the earliest memories I have is sitting in my bedroom with one of those plastic turntables listening to Thriller, another album that I have a lot of memories of when I was a kid. So this came out in 84, so I was almost 5 years old when it came out. So it was probably early part of 85, so it was like spring of 85 or early part of the summer. I remember hanging out with my dad outside. I think it was washing the car. And he had one of those like little cassette players outside with him. And he had Born in the USA on cassette. And I remember sitting in there, I think I was like playing on the sidewalk. And we listened to the cassette at least 3 or 4 times over while he was doing what he needed to do outside. And that's kind of stuck with me ever since. And that's why when I got back into collecting records, quite a few years ago now, this is one of those albums I had to have on vinyl. So this new 40th anniversary pressing came out last week. Like I said, it's a big album to me. Of course, I was going to pre-order it, even though I do have an original pressing of this album. So the hype sticker says 40th anniversary limited edition, even though, like I always joke on the channel here, I'm sure this album is not limited in any way. On translucent red vinyl, featuring Dancing in the Dark and Glory Days, includes exclusive lithograph plus a booklet with rare archival photos and a new essay. So there's the hype sticker there in the corner of it. And the one thing I could say right away is comparing that to my original pressing. Like I said, I got this original pressing a few years ago. This thing's in mint condition. It looks like it was barely ever played before. Like right away, I could tell, you might not be able to see it on the camera here, but there is a difference, a color difference. If I can get that light off of the jacket there. There is a color difference between the original pressing and this new release. The original pressing looks like it's brighter. And, it's one of those little things that probably most people might not even notice. But if you have an older pressing of this album, I think, like I said, if you put it side by side, you can definitely notice a color difference on the jacket. But I think they really missed an opportunity with this release. Yes, like I said, it comes with some archival photos, a new essay, stuff that most people don't really care about. I think they could have done a really cool release with this had they paired it with some live material from the tour or something along those lines. I'm sure there's probably not a lot of unreleased material off this, but I would like to have seen a little bit better of a package put together to celebrate the 40th anniversary of this great album. And the one thing I noticed right away with this release is that it comes in a gatefold jacket. I don't think it's ever been released in a gatefold before. Even I think it was 2015 when this was the RSD release, it was just in the standard sleeve like the original pressing was. So that's kind of a cool thing that at least they added that in there for what you're paying for this album. At least you're getting it in a gatefold jacket. So what I'll do is I'll open this thing up. We'll kind of go through what's included in this. And then I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to put my original pressing on and compare it to the new release. And kind of give you my thoughts on what I think of the two albums. Now that I got the shrink wrap off it, you can see the jacket a little bit better. There's the front cover there. A very, very famous front cover. There's the back of the jacket. And like I said, this is a gatefold. So there's the picture on the inside of the gatefold. Like I said, the gatefold's kind of a nice little touch, what you don't get with any other version of this album. And then on the inside, you get this booklet here. It's got Bruce on the front of it. The booklet's kind of cool. Like I said, it's got some pictures in here. It's got an essay about the album. It's one of those things where I'll probably flip through it maybe once or twice. It's kind of cool. Like I said, I like the pictures in there. It's a nice little touch to have something like this, but I think I would have rather had, like I said, either a live concert or some kind of additional material included with it instead. And then there's the 40th anniversary lithograph that comes with it. And this also has the same insert that comes with the original pressing, just all the lyrics on there. And then the inner sleeve is the same inner sleeve as the original pressing also. And then this is on translucent red vinyl. I know I said in my Tuesday new release video that there was the translucent red version and a clear version. So I think it was kind of, there's a couple of websites I saw. One of my local record stores was one of them, where it said there was a translucent red vinyl version, and then there's a clear version of it. I'm not really sure if there is a clear version. I think it's just kind of a typo on some of those websites. All right, so now I'm going to pause the video. Like I said, I'll clean up this version of it, compare it to the original version, and kind of give you my thoughts on comparing the two. All right, so after comparing those two versions of that album, I will say this new pressing, like I said, the packaging looks really cool. It's got a nice booklet and comes with it. But comparing it to the original pressing, there is a noticeable difference between these two pressings. The original pressing has it's got a fuller sound to it. This new version sounds a little thin. It doesn't have as much bass as the original version does. And if you don't have an original pressing of this album, you probably wouldn't even notice it. I think that this new version does sound good. I don't want to knock it too much. It does sound good. It is a good version to have of it. But, if you can go out and grab an original pressing of this album, there's tons of copies of them out there. I know that, you need to find a good high quality version of it, something that's not all beat up and been played to death. But if you can get a good, VG plus version of that original pressing, I think it's definitely the way to go with this album. And I don't want to knock this new pressing that much. Like I said, it does sound good. I think it's just, like I said, playing it back to back with that original pressing, there is a noticeable difference between the two. And I will say that there's a lot of newer reissues that I picked up over the last couple of years that I've done the same thing with. And while there generally is a difference between the two pressings, it's not as big as what I noticed with this, with the original pressing of Born in the USA compared to this 40th anniversary release. So I don't have a copy of it, but I know in 2014 this album was remastered by Bob Ludwig, and I know those pressings, I've been told that those pressings sound absolutely fantastic, really close to the original pressing. Like I said, even though this one is a good sounding version, I think I'm a little disappointed after going through this album. I guess I'm not disappointed in really the quality of it, because like I said, the jacket's nice. It does have a good sound to it, even though it is on a little bit on the quiet side. I think what I'm most disappointed in this is the failed opportunity here. Like I said, they could have packaged this with some different material, whether it be live material or unreleased material or demos. I know that kind of stuff exists out there. I think had they packaged it with this album, I think it would have been a better release overall. Well, that's all I got for you today, guys. Thanks for checking the show out. Make sure you drop me a comment down below. I'd love to know what you guys think of this album. Have you picked up this 40th anniversary release? Have you listened to it? Have you compared to any older pressings? Do you have the 2014 remaster? I know, like I said, I know it's available out there. You can pick it up for 15 or 20 bucks on Discogs. It's not a hard album to track down. Like I said, if you're not going to go for the original press, I think that 2014 press is probably the best way to go for this album. But let me know what you guys think. Like always, if you enjoyed the episode, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button down below. That's all I got. Until next time, keep all spinning. Peace.